Right then, so I know people are going to be clicking on this video after seeing the thumbnail with me saying that I think Shakur Stevenson could get a knockout or stoppage win, to be realistic, over Artem Harutyunyan this weekend. But I believe it could happen. And, look, I think Artem's got a good style for Shakur Stevenson to be able to deal with and possibly stop. People are going to call me delusional for this prediction, but I think people are very harsh on Shakur Stevenson. 100% they are. I see many people saying that he's fought bums and all that. He is not at all. He is not fought bums at all. Like, the guy's a free-weight world champion for a reason. The guy's an elite fighter. I've seen loads of people calling him a bum and all that. Like, he had a really boring fight against Edwin De Los Santos in his last one. Yes, and, I guess he's not the most entertaining fighter to watch. But let's be real. From what we've seen in a lot of past fights, though, he does go by the sweet science of the sports. He's not always just running away. He does like to fight and, outbox you from mid-range. That's what he likes to do. He likes to outbox you from mid-range, mixes up his shots well, changes angles well, and Stevenson's got good speed. And I think people are extremely harsh on him. And, I'm not exactly Shakur's biggest fan either, but I feel like, it does have to be said. I think Shakur's underrated. I feel like he's over-criticized. Like, yes, he talks a lot, but he's over-criticized, in my opinion. He's a free-weight world champ. Let's look at his resume here, especially, we go off, a load of his best wins. So, Jamel Herring, that's a good, solid win to have on his record. Oscar Valdez, he's the first guy to beat him. Conciano, good win, that one. Yoshino, Edwin De Los Santos, they're good names he's got on the record, to be fair. I don't get why people are, really, really, really harsh on him. But I do think Harutyunyan has a good style for Shakur Stevenson to be able to deal with. And this is because Artem likes to come forward in straight lines at you. That's what he likes to do. Artem likes to come forward in straight lines. And, he is good at putting the pressure on you, though, Artem. He does put the pressure on well. And, he's good at going to the body, mixing his shots up. And he's a good technical puncher, Artem is. He can put shots together well. But let's be real. Artem hasn't exactly fought real high-level guys, probably apart from Frank Martin, really. That's all. And somehow Artem's coming off a loss, coming into this fight against Shakur Stevenson, ranked number 7 in the WBC, and is somehow getting this shot. I don't know how. He's coming off a loss. I don't know how he's got himself into this position, but he's got to try and make the most out of it. But overall, I feel like Artem's going to be a little bit too basic for Shakur. And Shakur's really, really, really quick with his punches. Yes, he doesn't commit a lot, but he's quick, and I feel like Artem's going to find it. I feel like he's going to find it difficult seeing lots of punches coming from loads of, different kinds of angles. And I feel like Shakur's going to be able to overwhelm Artem. And I feel like, Shakur's going to hit back at a lot of the critics. And, I think we're going to see a good Shakur Stevenson here. I really do think we're going to see a good, solid Shakur Stevenson coming into this fight. People will call me delusional for it, but I really do think we will, and we're going to see Saturday night. People saying, oh, yeah, but Artem's a real tough guy, though. He is. But at the end of the day, though, he hasn't exactly been in there with the greatest of guys, apart from Frank Martin, really. And let's be real, when Frank Martin fought Artem, Frank Martin did not look great in that fight, if we're being honest. Frank Martin did not look great. And, I just don't think Artem's beaten the greatest of guys. The majority, all of his fights, apart from the Frank Martin one, were just all random shows in Germany. That's the thing. He's not, yes, Artem's fought some unbeaten guys, but they're not world level, the guys that he's beaten. And he was in there with Frank Martin, but, Frank Martin, I think, won the fight, but, it wasn't his night then, if we're being honest. But I think Shakur Stevens is better than Frank Martin. I don't think he hits as hard, but I think Stevenson's more unpredictable with his work. And that's what's going to be able to force a stoppage win for him, in my opinion. He's going to be unpredictable, and Artem's not going to know what's coming. I feel like Artem's going to be, walking into a lot of shots as well, I feel like. Artem's going to be just running into a lot of shots, and Shakur's very accurate with his work as well. And I feel like that's something Shakur doesn't get enough credit for. But, that people are just always going to slate him, in my opinion. Like, again, as I said, I'm not even a big fan of the guy. I'm not glazing him or anything like that. I'm just saying how it is, really. And I think people are too harsh on Shakur. He's a good all-round boxer. He's a good boxer, in my opinion. I feel like he is more skillful than what someone like Devin Haney is, in my opinion. That is what I think. Do I think Shakur Stevenson would beat Tank and Loma? No, I don't think so. But, he's still a top guy in the division, 100%. He's a free-weight world champ. He's a top guy in the sport. He's very good, at a young age as well. He can box well. And, he's a good, slick mover, Shakur Stevenson. He doesn't get hit with any real stupid shots, if we're being honest. Yes, the Edwin Del Los Santos fight was an absolute shambles for Shakur. But I feel like Shakur's going to would have learned off that fight. Overall, though, other than that, we've seen good performances from Shakur, other than that absolute stinker against Edwin Del Los Santos. I was hating a lot on that Edwin Del Los Santos fight as well. But, you go back and you look at Shakur Stevenson's last fights, though. He's beaten good names there convincingly. That's the thing. He's beaten names convincingly. And that's the most important thing. Let's go through it. So, obviously, beat Edwin Del Los Santos with the scorecards close. Beat Yoshino via 6th round stoppage. Beat Oscar Valdez with very wide scorecards. Stopped Herring, beat Robson Consejo. He's quite widely as well. He's beaten some good names and convincingly as well. And I feel like people forget that. He's not always just running away. He boxes well. Yes, he was running a lot in that Edwin Del Los Santos fight, but usually he boxes really well, in my opinion. And, Shakur's got good level changes in his game as well, mixes up his shots. He's got very quick hands and he's accurate with his work. He's very precise, in my opinion. And I feel like people are too harsh on it. And, I'd want to see him win it, to be fair. I'd want to see him win because I do want to see him shut up the critics. And at the end of the day, it would be good to have another big name in the lightweight division really up there going to other big fights. Ideally, for boxing, we don't want to see Artem win this fight because, there's big money fights out there for Shakur. What if he fought Tank? What if he fought Haney? What if, what if he fought Lomachenko? Williams Zepeda as well. He's a top guy in the WBC. I love to see Stevenson and Williams Zepeda. So, it's going to be interesting. But I see Artem walking into shots. And I feel like that's going to be his downfall because Artem, in my opinion, is not an elite fighter. He's good. He's a good fighter, but he's not elite, in my opinion. Shakur's going to be able to change angles well, and I feel like he's going to be able to overwhelm Artem with some shots. I don't know. I also see the corner possibly pulling Artem out as well. Probably late on. I reckon probably 8, 9, 10, something along those lines. But Artem's going to, he's going to be losing every round, in my opinion. I don't see him being able to pick up a round. And, I think Shakur's going to be unpredictable. And I think Shakur's eventually going to be able to stop him. I think the corner will pull out Artem. That's what I think. But, people will call me delusional. It's a bit of a gamble of a prediction, but, I'm going with it, though. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, King. I'll speak to you in a bit. Thanks for watching. Peace out.